game of the round. I think there's no arguments here. Chiefs Brumbies, 7 o'clock Saturday night in Hamilton. This was a game where I was a little bit surprised to see the golf in the odds. Obviously, the Chiefs are still a quality outfit and didn't manage to get the win last week, getting a few reinforcements back this week. But, I mean, boy, the Brumbies have been impressive the last few weeks, right? Like, I was going to sort of leave it a little bit right at the run sheet, but might as well talk about it now. Just how good are the Brumbies, James? Do you think, are they a legitimate title contender?
Yeah, I think they're not far off. Like, I definitely see them in that final frame now. What they've done those last couple of weeks has been really impressive. And the best thing about their game in the weekend, I thought the Canes actually attacked really well. Some of their attacking shape was some of the best attacking shape that I've seen this year from them. But the way the Brumbies withstood that and then managed to capitalise off some of the one or two missed opportunities the Hurricanes had where balls went to ground, that chance where Valentini kicked it through, chased it down, scored a try. Yeah. I just felt like they're in control of that game, and they've got Nick Wright, who runs a really good cutter at 9, smart football. I just think they're a really complete package, and there's not many weaknesses to their game, to be fair.
Yeah. I think the really impressive thing for me about the Brumbies is it seems like nothing rattles them. They know what style of footy they want to play, and they back themselves to play it better than whatever style of footy you're playing. So even in games against those bigger teams like the Crusaders and the Blues, they're going to, I think, be right. And they've got the Crusaders at home next week, which that's going to, the way things are going, that shapes to be a huge contest. And
they nearly won that game last year.
Christchurch, yeah. So I think they'll be certainly competitive, just their style of footy. So have you got anything out? You've been pretty high on them all season. Are you sort of predicting a Blues Brumbies final or anything like that?
They're definitely top 4, yeah. And I think we'll learn a lot in the next few weeks. Given they play against the likes of the Crusaders and Chiefs this week, and the Blues as well, just to see how good they are. But yeah, from what we've seen the last 2 weeks, they look like the real deal. They've got a great forward pack who control the game, but they've got some great backs as well. And Tom Banks is back, I see. So him and Tom Wright, the fullback, the right wing, they have a great combination, and a lot of CEOs playing well and kicking well. And Nick Wright really runs the ship well. And there's some of those forwards who are super impressive in that Hurricanes.
How good's Valentini?
Yeah, Valentini's awesome, man. And they're 7 as well.
Brown or Samu?
Yeah, Jerome Brown. That's it. Yeah, he was great. He's been great last couple of weeks as well. So and Samu too. Yeah. So no, I like what I see from them, and I think this game's gonna be cracking. Yeah, I was very surprised to see 7.5. I think Chiefs should be favourites. Obviously, they're a great team playing in Hamilton. Apart from when they play against the Blues and lose by 25 points or whatever it was, but they've got a great record at home, so they should have been favourites. But I would have probably hit it more, probably 3.5, 4.5.
Were you a bit surprised to see the $3 plus price for the Brumbies as well, James?
Yeah, I was, to be honest. I feel like that's a fair bit of value. I think this game's going to be extremely close. It's going to come down to a couple of decisions or big moments in the game. So $3 to get those big decisions. Yeah, I'd be happy to take that.
Yeah,
and still plenty of big outs for the Chiefs as well. So I think that's maybe if the Chiefs was full strength, I could kind of imagine that. But the fact that they're the likes of sort of Kane and we have a team, don't we?
We do, yeah. Sam Kane has been named, but I believe he's still on baby watch, so I wouldn't go chucking him in all your same game multis just yet. Still no Josh Ioane or Brad Weber in the halves, and Cortez Relatama, who's been absolutely awesome, to be fair, so far this season, and Bryn Gatlin keeps the 10 jersey. Quintapai back in the midfield. I mean, he didn't disgrace himself on the left wing either, though. That's another nice little bit of versatility for the All Blacks to just keep in mind. I think the big thing is the forward packs, though, right? This is like, I don't know, maybe the 2 best forward packs in the competition if everyone's healthy. Obviously, the Chiefs are still missing a couple of big names, but do you give either forward pack a bit of an edge, James, or just sort of excited to see how these two teams square off up front? It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Like hard to know, to be honest, without them coming up against each other. But we will know a lot more after the game, obviously. So, like you say, it is 2 of the best forward packs that it looks like that haven't come up against each other yet. So, looking forward to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, particularly those Chiefs young locks, Lord and Vai, against a really stiff opposition. They've beat. I think we've achieved what we hoped, or even gone past it this season in terms of like ascendant young All Black talent. So if they can have another big performance here, Luke Jacobson as well looks like he's working his way back into form. Not so much specifically about this game, but I actually think things are working out a little bit nicely for the Chiefs. You've Guzzler, he's back in training. Apparently, he's training the house down at the moment. Still a couple of weeks away from the thumb being fully healthy. But if they can sort of get everyone healthy at the right time of season, not have the same miles on their legs that the Blues or the Crusaders have, let the Blues just soak up all that hype up in Auckland with the home finals and everything. We've seen they can go toe-to-toe with both of those teams. If they get that pack particularly back to full strength, I think they can really make a run for it at the end of the season. But I don't think they're quite just there. So I'm certainly leaning towards the side of the Brumbies, especially with such a huge head start. I just think their style of footy is very conducive to playing close games and not getting blown out. They obviously lost big in Hamilton last season, but won there by 14 2 years ago. And that was when the Chiefs were absolutely flying as well with the Cruden team and everything like that. So something to watch.
Yeah, I just did a stat that with that point start 7.5, they would have covered 5 of the last 7 games in Hamilton. Yeah, so I think that the Brumbies is it's definitely the way I'm going with my play for that game.
Yeah, all on the same page there as well, pretty much, by the sound of the thing.